Governor Tim Walz was in front of the Oversight Committee today, and Congresswoman Nancy Mace held him to account because, of course, you remember his nickname, Tampon Tim. The reason that we call him Tampon Tim is not to be vulgar. It's not because we're petty and we're hurling an ad hominem at him. It's because Governor Tim Walz put tampons in boys' bathrooms in Minnesota because he won't answer the question, what is a woman? Because he's so captured by leftist ideology. And as we have recently come to find out, he was captured by leftist ideology, parroting all this trans nonsense while simultaneously allowing, if not facilitating, the massive fraud that was happening in Minnesota. This is Nancy Mace. Take a look.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here today. Governor Walz and Attorney General Ellison, you have presided over one of the worst government fraud scandals in American history. This was money intended to feed hungry children, help kids with autism, provide food and shelter and healthcare to the needy, and more. You both allowed billions in these American taxpayer dollars to be pillaged and plundered by Somali pirates. You knew this was happening. You chose to do nothing about it, and in some cases, you even enabled it. Attorney General Ellison, you even profited from this fraud by taking campaign donations from these Somalians after pledging to help quash the investigation into them. I find your behavior despicable. My questions this morning, my first go to Governor Walz, and I hope you learned some lessons from your last hearing with me on the Oversight Committee. Have you learned anything since
then? That if I didn't speak up, 2 of my people would be dead, Congresswoman, and I warned you.
Okay, Governor Walz, what is a woman? Have you learned that lesson? Do you know what a woman is?
I'm the governor of Minnesota, Congresswoman.
You know what
I'm not here to be your prop for your
Okay,
obsession.
so
I
if you
taught middle
can't
school your
define what a
obsession.
woman is, you certainly can't define what fraud is. If you can't even define what a woman is, you can't define fraud. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2017, Governor?
I don't have those numbers in front of me, Congresswoman.
Did you prepare for this hearing today? Did you do any preparation
I take
for this hearing
Congress
today?
seriously.
And you've seen the numbers about autism fraud in Minnesota. So we're going to do some Minnesota math with you today, okay? Are you ready? How much money was spent on 2017 for autism in Minnesota? How much?
I don't know. I wasn't the governor.
Okay. Did you not just say that you prepared for this hearing today? $1 million, okay? A quick Google search or using your AI could tell you $1 million was spent. How much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024?
I don't have the number in front of me.
Were you governor in 2024?
I was, but I'm not the head of
Okay, so your excuse before that you didn't know what 2017 autism numbers were because you were not governor, and today you can't answer the numbers about 2024 as governor, and you still said you prepared for this hearing today. It's unbelievable. $343 million was spent in 2024. What percent increase is that from 1 million to 343 million? What percentage increase is that?
I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell me.
Well, are you governor of Minnesota or not?
Yes, I am.
That is 34,200% increase, an increase of 343 times what it was in this time period. Do you know the number of children in Minnesota?
I know that Minnesota ranked as a top 3 state for children in the last year.
What is the total population in Minnesota?
5.7 million.
Okay. What is the total population of children in Minnesota?
I don't have the number in front of me right now.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I know 400,000 were cut out of health care last week by the actions you made.
Are you governor of Minnesota?
I am.
And you don't know the number of children residing in Minnesota?
I don't have the specific number. It's 5.7 million.
That's your total population.
What is your age? What is the age? 0 to 5? 0 to 19?
You have approximately 1.2 million children in Minnesota who know this information. Thank God you're not Vice President of the United States. Do you know approximately how many children in Minnesota are autistic or on the spectrum?
No, I don't have that number.
Okay. Well, if you take the CDC's roughly 1 in 36 kids are on the spectrum, we're talking about approximately 33,000 kids. In South Carolina, it's about 31,000 or so. What is, do you know what this is per child spending wise in the fraud for autistic kids in Minnesota?
Again, I'm not here to be your prop. Go ahead and tell us.
Is doing Minnesota math a prop? This is math. We're talking about fraud.
Minnesota ranks at the top. Where does South Carolina rank?
We're talking about money.
Where does South Carolina children rank on healthiness?
These are my questions for you. It doesn't go the other way around unless we're debating on the debate stage. And we're not.
If you're
Governor of Minnesota, which you can't answer. This is basic math. And you can't even answer. Do you even care about kids in Minnesota?
They rank near the top in every category. My children are fed. My children are housed. My children have
getting
health
the
care.
services they need in Minnesota.
My children have the best schools.
No, you don't. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Mr.
I am not here to be your prop. Contestant number 3, ladies and gentlemen, Governor Tim Walz in Minnesota. Congressman Jim Jordan also pressed Tampon Tim on his involvement in the fraud in Minnesota because, as you can see, then this is a tactic Democrats often use. They just plead ignorance. If you think of James Comey, I don't recall. I'm not sure. I don't remember. They plead ignorance in order to avoid accountability for things, nefarious things they were involved in. That seems to be Tim Walz's strategy also. He was saying, well, I don't know. I don't know how much money was spent on autism in Minnesota in 2024, even though I'm the governor, even though this is an international news story about the fraud in Minnesota. It's a little hard to believe that he doesn't actually know that number, at least at this point, after this enormous fraud was exposed in his state. You'd think as the governor, he would care about that the most. Well, actually, he took action in his state, his administration did, to restart payments to particular groups, a particular group called Feeding Our Future, which was suspected of fraud. They were so suspected of fraud that payments from the state to Feeding Our Future were stopped, only to be restarted 1 month later by Tim Walz. And this was Tim Walz's response when Jim Jordan asked him why these payments were restarted. Take a look.
The payments are restarted. Why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments?
Well, Chairman, we did tell you. And Feeding Our Future grew because of the pandemic. And
I didn't ask that question. I said, why didn't you tell the truth about why you restarted the payments? The payments stopped because there were concerns, obviously, it wouldn't stop the payments. Then they're restarted a month later. What was the reason for restarting the payments?
My understanding was the agency believed that the court had required them to make those payments.
And that was false, wasn't it? You repeated that. You said that, didn't you? You said that's why the reason you said the reason you restarted is because the court ordered you to do so. Is that right?
I don't believe that is settled yet, to the best of my knowledge.
Well, I think it is, because the court did something that I don't know if I've ever seen it. They issued a statement saying you were wrong in what you were saying. This is from the court. It says, Feeding Our Future versus Minnesota Department of Education, correcting reports and statements by Governor Tim Walz concerning orders issued by the court. Here's what the judge says. Governor Tim Walz told the media that the Minnesota Department of Education attempted in payments to FOF because of possible fraud, but that Judge Guthman ordered payments to continue in April 2021. Next sentence. That is false. So you said something wasn't true. He further states this, Judge Guthman, the court says this, Judge Guthman never ordered the Department of Education to resume payments to Feeding Our Future in April 2021 or at any other time. So I want to know, why didn't you tell the truth?
Congressman, the attorneys at the Department of Education interpreted that differently. Both of those judges are no longer on the bench. And I think that interpretation.
The very first sentence. The first 7 words. This is not some unnamed source talking to the New York Times. This is not some anonymous source talking to whatever your Minnesota Star Tribune or whatever your paper is. This is the court speaking. First sentence, first 7 words. Due to inaccurate statements by the governor, Ramsey County District Court judge has issued and authorized this following news release. That's pretty straightforward. So the court's lying?
I can't tell you, Congressman, but the interpretation
somebody's lying, because you can't say the court ordered you to restart the payments and then the court says we didn't order you to restart the payments. So either you're lying or the court's lying. And I'm just asking you, which one is it?
I just simply know what the attorneys at the agency believed, that it was a misinterpretation. And I would note that those payments.
Could it be you were trying to hide behind the court, Governor? That maybe be the reason why you issued the statements you did and why the court had to do something you never see done before. They issue a press statement saying you're wrong. The governor is wrong. His statement is, their words, not mine, false. Could that be the reason?
That was not the interpretation of the attorneys. And you know, court work, you can appeal those, Congressman, as you well know. I'm sure
Is it all about politics, Governor?
No, it's about taking care of our people, which Minnesota does better than anyone else.
3 million. The behavioral intervention program went from 3 million to 400 million in 5 years. The housing stabilization went from 2.6 million to 104 million. The integrated community supports went from 4.6 million.
Okay. Yeah, let's stop that one. So listen, it's a difficult decision. Who are you going to choose? Contestant number 1, Hillary Clinton. Contestant number 2, Pam Bondi. Contestant number 3, Tim Walz. You haven't even heard the 4th contestant. I like these videos from Congress as much as the next person. I appreciate when Congress holds corrupt, slimy swamp creatures to account. But this is my question, and this is a serious question. What comes after this? What comes next? And I'm talking about both with the Clintons, with Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. I'm talking about the fraud in Minnesota. Tim Walz, Keith Ellison, the Attorney General of Minnesota, was also in front of Congress today. Ilhan Omar, the representative from Minnesota. What comes next? Because I don't want to just enjoy these clips where Democrats are squirming because they have been caught committing crimes. I want them to be in jail. Is anybody going to jail? Not for retribution, not for revenge, but because crimes were committed. Yes, I enjoy these videos. But videos embarrassing Democrats, even if it comes from the United States Congress, isn't it. Justice is it. Justice is it. Our movement is gaining ground. People around us are waking up. The mainstream media leftist narrative is cracking. At Blaze TV, we've built a home for some of the strongest, smartest voices in conservative media. When you subscribe to Blaze TV, you're not just watching content, you're supporting a movement. You're backing creators who think for themselves. It's everything that the networks won't show you, delivered on your terms on any device, anytime. And it starts at just $8 a month. BlazeTV.com/Liz, promo code Liz.